and welcome to another Dice Tower Daily Unboxing. I'm Wendy Yee, and today I have Firefly Misbehaving, a factions deck building game by Jack Rita. This is a Gale Force 9 game, 60 minutes, 2 to 4 players, age 14 plus, though honestly, I'm sure this can probably go for a younger age. It's probably just safety testing and that stuff that prevents it from getting a lower age range, because deck building games and Firefly are both things that younger people can do. All right, what do we have here? So let's see, someone ever tries to kill you, you try to kill them right back. That's right. So in Firefly Misbehaving, players get to control different factions of the Firefly verse. From the Criminal Enterprise to Badger or Niska to the Self-Righteous Alliances and even Serenity, as Mal attempts to find a crew and keep flying. This deck building card game gives each player a unique starting deck of cards and access to characters, items, and locations in the core, border, and rim. Complete to control your own core of the verse or play through different episodes with a variety of objectives. Pretty cool. Looks like there's some different objectives over here, depending on what player faction you're doing. So you could just try to look for freedom. You could build roots in the community, scavenge, those kind of things. A lot of low-life vultures out there in the black. Good thing the alliance is in hand. And then gain a solid reputation through fear, intimidation, and the writings of Sean Yu. Okay, well, let's check out what's inside. Let's pop this puppy open. Wait for it. There we go. All right, we got some Firefly the game. Oh, I have such fond memories of playing this early on in my gaming. Good stuff there. Here's we got the rule book. Let's see what we got here. Introductions and goals. Okay, so your goal is basically to get power here, a certain amount of power, which I assume are victory points. You've got your different cards in your decks. You've got some episode cards. So it sounds like you can change the goal and the setup parameters of the games as you go through. And then various market decks. So it looks like as you set up the game, you're going to basically have your market over here, and then of course everyone has their own little boards. It's interesting because with a regular deck building game, you usually don't have that many spaces to place cards. So I'm just curious about what's going to go there on those boards. But I'll take a look at those after I'm done with the rule book in a minute to see what they kind of look like. Actually, this up close here looks like you put some assets up here and then some Eider cards, some characters. Interesting. So we've got different stuff going on in this little player board area over here. We also have different card categories going on. We have assets, characters, and items, maneuvers, and actions. Got to move that those spaceships around, maneuver them correctly. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Okay, so some symbol card anatomy going on. You have certain requirements for factions. You have different attributes. The power is down here. The card cost and numbers up there, the number defense. So it sounds like the cost and the defense are the same. Influence is this down here. The origin, that's just details that you don't really need to know down there. Cool. There's some different action types that we've got down here. So activation, recruitment, verse acquisition, which are verse tokens. I wonder what verse tokens are. And then you're spending your verse. Well, I guess this explains it right here. So you can take action shown on your verse card, playing them by spending verse tokens. Okay, so you're gaining tokens and you're spending them. Pretty cool. So we've got different forms of the activation, the recruitment, the acquisition of the verse tokens, and then the spending them. Very nice. So this is a little overview of how the game is played. So you play a card, you trigger a card, you play it to your display area or pick a fight, or to pick a fight, and then play a card to your display area to make a deal. Looks interesting. We're only like halfway through this rule book, so I'm curious what all this is. Just details on what it means to pick a fight, how to win a fight, how to make a deal, how to recruit, various and sundry things. We've got the verse tokens. Okay, so these are the verse tokens. They represent clout that each faction can bring to bear in the verse to achieve their goals. Okay, so you're of different factions, you get different bits of clout that you have. Here's the supply sets, some other effects and just explanations of things that may happen on cards, and then some variants. So there's lots of different variant episodes, or at least a few different. They have an entire page on strategy, and then the glossary, Q&A, all that good stuff in there. All right. Ooh, another book. So this is your quick start guide. This looks like it gets you going right away. Kind of your first basic setup. A quick explanation of the turns. All right, we got some stuff over here. I love it. I love that she's like, did you know? Let me give you fun things. Oh, very cool. I like that the art looks pretty good. Like, I'm sure they're just snapshots from the movie, but they look a little bit cleaner than I think some things that I've seen, some other games. So we're looking through here. Got some stuff going on. So yeah, basically this just shows you how to do your first game. All right, let's take a look at this. So this is one of the main boards that sits in the middle. This is actually bigger than I thought, but I guess it makes sense since you have 9 cards that need to go on it. These are the player board display areas that we have here. So your assets go up here, your character cards go here, or items, not sure, I'm curious about that. So we've got those in various different colors. We have the punch outs. These must be the clout tokens. The money. Oh, that's interesting. These are little cardboard chips. In the other Firefly, the game, it's actual money, but it looks really cool. So this is fun. I don't know if I can bring that up close enough for it to zoom in on. But the picture looks cool. It reminds me of the other money, but obviously way smaller. We have some tokens that fell out. Here's the other part of the main front deck right there. And then we have cards. Cards galore. So let's go ahead and open these. Open these up. Goodness gracious. This plastic is intense. All right, here we go. Got some cards open. Let's check these out. So we've got, we just have pictures from the movie. Oh, interesting pictures from the board game. That's fascinating right there. Got some stuff going on. So these are the defense values, but the cost as well up there in the corner. Got different guns, different requirements. I don't see any faction cards here specifically. Those must be in another deck. Stuff going on. Look at her. She rocks. Pretty awesome. Okay, we've got some basic cards there. See, we got other cards going on. More stuff to look at. It's always opening cards is always the challenge. It's worth the wait though, right? Whew. Pull in the shrink. All right, let's take a look. We got some ships. Those pictures look real blurry. I don't know if you can tell. They're not very clear. They must have zoomed in a lot. Different scenes from the movies. Different stuff going on. Yeah, I really enjoyed this TV show. But I especially loved the movie. Like, I really appreciate that they finished it. There have been so many other, especially sci-fi TV shows, because they're so high budget that, like, you don't necessarily get to finish them because they sell off the sets. What was one? Dark Matter was one that I watched that I really enjoyed. It did kind of like jump the shark towards the end. Let me see if I can get this in here without clipping stuff. There we go. But I really enjoyed it. And I wish that it had finished. But by the time that the whatever station had canceled it, they sold off all the set pieces, and then there were talks about renewing it, and so we didn't get to finish watching it. But there we go. We got some more cards. Lots of cool stuff there. I mean, it's a deck building game. There's lots of cards. Meet the real you. Objects in space, fully loaded. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me for another Dice Tower Daily Unboxing. This was Firefly Misbehavin. I'm Wendy Yee, and I hope you have a fabulous day.